Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Scott, and I hope you're having an amazing day. It's the last day of August, and that means it's time to take a look at some of the community entries for this month's community challenge. So let's go ahead and dive into what you guys painted. Before we get too far into this, I just want to remind everyone that these paint challenges are designed to motivate people to paint their models. Not everybody's going to be at the same skill level with their painting, and so if you don't have anything nice to say about the paint jobs shown off in this video, I'd much rather have you say nothing at all. The keyword that we used as our prompt this month was heavy. Now this can be interpreted a lot of ways. My entry, I used a Thunder Rider from Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings. This entry also doubles as my entry to the Colors of Thunder challenge. We'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of the video. Our first entry into this month's paint challenge was submitted by Typical DM. It's an orc warrior carrying a heavy two-handed, double-ended weapon. Typical DM posts a lot in the Discord, and it's always fun to see his projects progress from start to finish. I like the color combination on this and the way that the metals have turned out, where they don't distract from the skin and clothing, but you can still tell that there are metallic elements there on the model. Our second entry was submitted by one of our channel members, CEO14, and this is an Incarnate Sentinel from the Spires army in Conquest. I really love the way this model has turned out. The color combination of the red, silver, and the bone color all together are really cool to look at, and I can tell that there was a lot of effort put into the layering on this model. Especially the red, you can really tell that there are 2 to 3 different red tones that have been used on the model. Our third entry is a really fun one. This one was submitted by Badaboy. This is a Churchill heavy tank from the British Army in bolt action. I really like the way the colors have been done on this model. It looks like believable real-world tank camo, but he's also dry brushed the model so that it looks dusty and not completely clean, which is exactly what you'd expect from this style of model. The transfers have also been applied really well, and they really add a lot of detail to the model. Our next entry is by Cody, and this is a Thunder Chieftain from Conquest, and I have to say, this paint job looks phenomenal. I think my favorite part has to be the way that the orange and green on the Triceratops mesh with that purple burgundy color that's on the saddle and the clothing of the rider. It looks really cool together, and you can tell that there was a lot of effort put into this model. I really love how it's turned out. Our next entry is a Thunder Rider painted by Lion's Pride Creations. Now, this is a really fun model. It's been painted up using the color scheme of a Dalmatian crested gecko, which to me really sticks out because one of my favorite pets that I've ever owned was a Dalmatian crested gecko. So I really love the colors on here. I might have to steal this color scheme, the way he's painted this, and use it on some of my own models in the future because I really love the way the scales have turned out. Now we have another fun entry by one of our channel members. This is a Steel Forge painted by Zar G-Fleet. Now these are really fun models. I love the way that he has kind of almost done the opposite of the color scheme I did in my tutorial, where he's done blue instead of red and gold instead of bronze for the trim. I really love the dark silver that's been used on this model and the way that the blue glowing effects have been done. I think that's really cool and really unique. You don't see blue glowing flame effects very often. Our next entry is by Connor, and this one's a really fun one. These are the Angry Chicken convention exclusive models for Conquest. You can tell based on the pile of skulls, these are not chickens you want to be messing with. I really like how simple this paint scheme is, and yet it looks good. You can tell what it's supposed to be, it gets the message across, and in the case of these models, they're just funny. They're really cool models, and I'm really happy to see that somebody entered this as part of the paint challenge. Our next entry is a fun kit bash done by Ario Vistas. Now, this is a really fun model. The base model is a heavy infantry Varangian Guard model, but the shoulder pads come from the Praetorian Guard kit. He's using this as a retinue model for one of his Old Dominion characters. I love the paint scheme. It's like a less rusted, cleaner version of my army, which is really cool. I like to see that occasionally inspiration is taken from the way I paint my own models. Now we have another fun entry. This one's by Lazy Rebel. This is a land speeder for the Rebels army in Star Wars Legion. This is a really fun model. I love the way that he's done the pinstripes on this model, and then I really like the weathering towards the nose of the land speeder. I'm not quite sure how that was done. I'd be very curious to find out. We have another fun entry by a channel member. This one's done by Simon White. These are the 3 Jotnars for Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings. I really love how close to the box art Simon has been able to get with these models. They're really cool models, and he's done an amazing job painting them. And the fact that he's painted all 3 of them is very impressive. This next entry was submitted by Lancaster. This is a guillotine mech from Battletech, and he's painted it in the colors of the French flag. I think that's a really cool thematic choice. There's a lot to love on this model's paint job. In particular, I love how clean the model is on the top half, and then you hit the knees and everything from there down is super dirty, super weathered from walking through the mud and dirt of this environment. I think that's a really cool effect. Our final entry that we're going to spotlight this month was submitted by Nick. This is a really cool World Eaters Hellbrute. There's a lot going on in this model, a lot to like here. I really like the way the transfers have been applied, the use of colors, and then in particular, I love the base plate. There's lots of skulls and blood, and that's what every World Eaters model should have on their base plate. And with that, we've viewed all of the entries for this month. Thank you guys so much for participating. I really love seeing what you guys come up with. Next month's challenge is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be doing a collaboration with a handful of other content creators. We're calling it the Colors of Thunder. And the idea is that you pick up the Thunder Riders kit from Conquest and you paint up your dinosaurs in the colors of real-world reptiles. Each content creator that's participating in this challenge will pick their favorite submission, and we will feature that on my channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys would like to participate in future challenges, be sure to join my Discord. I've put a link in the description to this video. I'd like to give a special shout out to my channel members that make videos like this possible. If you would like to become a channel member, hit the join button below this video. As always, have an amazing day, and we'll catch you in the next one.